Welcome to Sales Funnel Radio, where you'll learn marketing strategies to grow your online business using today's best internet sales funnels. And now, here's your host, Steve Larsen.
Oh, isn't that cool? Hey, big shout out to Robert Phillips. He is a listener to this podcast, and he reached out to me and he said, "Hey, I am known as the rock and roll speaker," and he stands up and he speaks, and he's totally awesome. And he's like, "What's one of your favorite songs? I'm going to go learn on guitar and give it to you." And I was like, "Okay, cool." So I'm a huge fan of Foo Fighters and Audioslave and Muse and and so I gave him an Audioslave song, one of my favorites. So anyway, I thought I'd give it to you. I actually super enjoy Stage, and anyway, when I saw what he did, I was like, dude, I'm gonna put that as a podcast intro, man. That's so cool. I appreciate that. That's cool. I played drums and I played piano and I sang a lot. And but I didn't ever play many string instruments. Play the ukulele right now. That's about it. Because my little 3-year-old loves it. So, so big shout out to Robert Phillips, the rock and roll speaker. You're the man. And he just came out with a book that's actually pretty awesome. So, anyway, just speaking of Stage, I'm super excited, you guys, because I'm trying to figure out. There's 2 things I wanted to tell you. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. I am speaking on 2 people's stages, and I am really pumped about it. And the first one I'm speaking at is called AdCon, and it's Dan Henry's event. And I don't know how many hundreds are going to be there, but it's a lot now, and I'm excited about it. It's going to be great. It's in like 2 weeks from now. He reached out about 2 months ago. He said, "Hey, if I actually did this, I'd love you to come speak." And I said, "Sure, it'd be awesome." So he is having me speak, I believe, on e-commerce. I need to actually finish writing the actual presentation itself. And I think he wants me to do 2 presentations. So I might need to, anyway, it's time for me to dive in. You guys know me. I don't like to start something until it's getting a little bit close, so it's fresh in my brain. So I actually do that on purpose. Despite others thinking it's procrastination, it's actually not. Anyway, so I'm really excited about that, though. So I get to go speak on his stage, and it's going to be awesome. And then the second one is actually even bigger. That one will be on, let's see, the first one is April 22nd, which is my birthday. Very excited. Turning 29. But it's Earth Day. It's both Earth Day and my Earth Day. So that'd be awesome. So that's April 22nd, and it's going to be in Orlando, Florida. And I'd love to know if you're going to be, if anyone listening this is actually going to be at that. I'd love to meet you in person. It'd be great. And then the second one, right after I got that speaking gig, I got the second one over in Vegas. And I think it's at the Bellagio, but I can't remember. Or the Paris. I can't remember. Anyway. But it's LCT. It's Local Client Takeover. These guys have a gigantic following, and I think that they're planning on, over 500, less than 1,000, somewhere in that range, people to come. And I'm so excited to do that. They were going to pair me up with Frank Kern's Funnel Builder, and we were going to go back to back on stage and teach some cool ways to get local clients. And I was like, sweet, yeah, I'd love to do that, And it's been kind of fun to do all the stuff I have with Russell, because it's given me like really intense depth on so many areas of business. I've built funnels from anything to supplements to toilet paper. I mean, it's nuts how much sales funnels have to do with anything. You guys know that. So, but I'm really pumped about that. So the second one, like I said, will be, I think it's the first weekend in May. And that one will be, Local Client Takeover. And I'm talking specifically on, I only have like an hour on that one. I don't have a full 90-minute presentation, which kind of stinks. But there's a lot of speakers at this one. It's going to be awesome. Anthony Crowley, it's a lot of big speakers. And I'm like super honored to to be doing that. And it's awesome. So if you guys want me to speak on your stage, let me know. I'm just kidding, kind of. I actually really love it, and it's just a ton of fun to do that. I love movies, and movies are great, and it's fun because there's special effects, and you can see someone's face, and you can get up close and personal with them, and there's music, then it's really intense sometimes, and they can kind of delve into emotion harder. But I have a really strong appreciation for stage, because there's no second take. You know what I mean? It's very raw. It's very authentic. So Anyway, very, very excited though to go do that and show some of the things that I know have been working, that we've been doing. And yeah, it's been a lot of fun. I told Russell and he was like, "What's up? That's awesome, man." And I've spoken on stages a couple times now. And I spoke at that DECA one. That was really fun. There's like 2,000 kids there and high school kids. And I taught them how to automate their fundraising. And it's so funny because there's all these MBAs who were their advisors that didn't want them to pull off what I was teaching them because they're like, "Oh, we'll have them learn real stuff." And it's like, okay, well, I guarantee that your MBAs are not making you much money. How about we compare money here, huh? And well, not like a cocky way, but let's just see what's actually come of your MBA. You know, I'm not going against MBAs. Just so you guys know, I've actually really considered going and getting one. It's just when people hide behind it, like that is what creates the money. You're like, okay, you were so off the ball, it makes me want to throw up. But anyway, really interesting. But so I was thinking about, I was like, hey, I'm super stoked. Gonna go do the stage presentations here soon, but it's during the time of we've been moving and there's all this stuff going on with Russell, and we're launching his book, and I'm running what we're calling the Fat Event Funnel Hackathon and Secrets Masterclass and all these other products. It's been a lot of fun. It's been cool, but it's just been really intense. And I ran into a guy recently, and he was here's a little vignette here, and I'll probably end with this as a shorter podcast, but his whole job is he gets hired by companies and by hospitals a lot actually too, which is cool. But his whole job, he goes into places and he teaches them a lot of organizational effectiveness. And it's super cool. And he was teaching me about trust. And he was teaching me, and it's so cool because while he was saying it, I was like, oh, I've totally seen what you're telling me right now. You know, anyway, so I knew what he was saying was true and real. It was really awesome. And he said, there's really two kinds of trust. And one is a predictive kind of trust. For example, right. Russell sends me to go to, like, I went to ASW, right, in Vegas, and we went and we were, a small group of us, we went and we were presenting on ClickFunnels to a bunch of affiliate people who their only job is they are affiliates for other people, right? And they make a good living like that, which is really cool. And he trusts me to go on and do a good job there, right? That's a kind of trust. I trust you to go forward and to say the right thing and not be an idiot and not make ClickFunnels look like, look dumb. You know what I mean? That's a predictive, futuristic-based type of trust, and that's the first kind. And everybody thinks that is actually the most important kind of trust, but they're wrong. That's not. What is more important and what is more foundational to any kind of organization is a trust called vulnerability trust. And vulnerability trust is, for example, let's say I'm going through some sales funnels for Russell or for somebody else, and I'm looking in there and I'm saying, oh my gosh, I see that what we are doing here is wrong, right? And I have so much, Russell has so much faith in me to come to him and show that. And there's an environment in the business space that allows for me to go up to him and say, I think what we're doing is wrong, which I've done before, and he's done before on my stuff, and I've done on his stuff, and I've done, which is cool. We have that kind of trust. It's a vulnerability trust. The ability to be completely vulnerable with another human being is very hard to get. Very hard to get because people don't want to be vulnerable. They want stature and they want status, and they want to be able to be important. And, oh, you should, when you hear my name, go, oh, it's going to be Steve Larsen. Oh, people want that. And what's funny is the more you crave that, the less you get it. You gain status by not seeking it, by the way. That's the best way to do that. I've had some cool talks about that with others, and especially Russell. Anyway, but anyway, I thought it was really, really powerful, and I was thinking how cool it is that these people who are saying, hey, would you come speak on our stage, right? What the people who've asked me to come speak on their stages are doing is they are giving, it's a predictive style trust. But the people who attend are counting on me being the vulnerable kind of trust. They trust that I'm going to come and be vulnerable and be real with them, right? Actually show the raw stuff, how it actually works. little tricks to increase conversion, little things that will do, great ways to create continuity and things that there's this certain kind of trust, especially in teaching environments where you expect the teacher to be vulnerable and show that stuff. And as a teacher, if you're ever in a room of people who are not willing to be vulnerable and try the things you're teaching, it sucks because they're not willing to do anything you're saying, and you feel no progress. And so anyways, those are two kinds of trust. And I was thinking about that. I was like, hey, this is super cool that, yeah. And I've been a part of other organizations before working for ClickFunnels and other people. And that sucks. Like, I did not have the kind of trust with the boss at the time, or the entrepreneur I was working with, or whatever it was, or whoever I was building for, where I did not feel the kind of trust where I could go be vulnerable and about their own business and say, hey, look, I understand this is your baby, but you're too in love with it and you're going to run into the ground, and here's 3 reasons why, and here's 3 places I can see that it's wrong. You know what I mean? And if you aren't willing to be vulnerable on your own business about that, you're going to kill your business. Like, I'm not even going to sugarcoat that. You will kill your business if you do not allow people to show you faults in it, because it's not perfect. You're not perfect, so why should your business be? If it's your baby and it came from you, it's not going to be perfect. You're not perfect. You know what I mean? That's the whole point. And so take all these things, and I know I talked about duct tape marketing in the last podcast, but this totally ties into it. Be vulnerable. Have the kind of trust in both yourself and others around you, and the kind of environment that allows people to come to you and say, hey, you know what? Mr. Russell Brunson, I know you got a lot of status, you don't seek it, but you really bless a lot of people's lives. Or he comes to me and says, hey, check it out, man. Like, there's a few things. I know you really like this product you put together and you spend a lot of time on it, but I actually think it's wrong, or I think this is wrong, or the message as a whole is wrong. And I said, it's hard to get that environment. I remember I said that once about a sales video we had created. And I said it probably a little bit more forward and harsh than I should have. It wasn't harsh. It was just, I probably could have said it softer than I did. And I was like, I don't think this is going to sell. I actually think this is a completely wrong angle. And I think that what we've done here is not going to be effective or successful. And we had to try and remember to be in a place of vulnerability. I know the way I said it was probably a little too forward. I'd rather just say what I mean and not sugarcoat stuff. But like, I said it in a way that, he was a little bit put off by it, which is fine. And I was like, oh, dang it. I shouldn't have said it the way I did, but I still agree with that. But then he came back and said, okay, I get it. I see what you're saying. That makes sense. But cultivating an environment like that is not easy. It will require you to get out of your comfort zone like crazy, because in order for you to have a culture of vulnerability, being able to accept things accept things about your business, you too need to be vulnerable. And it's not comfortable. And it sucks. And I've had a lot of, I know there's things wrong with Sales Funnel Broker. I know there's things wrong with SteveJLarsen.com. I know this thing, eventually you guys got to launch stuff. You know what I mean? It's ready, fire, aim. You got to just move forward. But you got to have trust. And you got to accept people's feedback. And that's where you get the duct tape marketing. You know what I mean? That's where you get all this stuff moving forward. And that's how you figure out, hey, I suck at this. Let me hire out for that. You know what I mean? And so you got to be able to have that kind of stuff. So anyway, it's just been running through my head. But anyway, super excited to speak on those stages, guys. Please let me know if you're going to be in them, in the audiences. I would love to meet you. I had so much fun meeting so many of you guys at Funnel Hacking Live. It was awesome. A lot of you guys asked why I wasn't on that one. I wasn't speaking at that one. Maybe not. Maybe next year I can convince that to happen, but I don't know. It would be fun. Anyway, guys, I will talk to you later. Remember to have trust. Predictive trust is important, but it's not the most important one. The organizational killing version of trust is if you're not vulnerable with each other and can't trust each other to be vulnerable. Anyway, I am excited. I should probably go prep these presentations because I am not ready for them yet. Anyways, guys, talk to you later. Bye.